Today, I'm walking you through how I craft a classic Smashburger on a Blackstone Griddle. The classic Smashburger is simple, but when they're done right, it's unbeatable. Don't get me wrong, I like a nice, fat, juicy burger on the grill, but when you get that crust and that gooey cheese and the flavor from the onion on your classic Smashburger, you cannot go wrong. No fluff here, just good burgers. Let's get to it. I'm really excited to show you this because this is one of my go-tos for a quick, tasty, easy meal. My griddle is already heating up back here. I set the dial to about medium heat, so let's dive into our ingredients. All right, I'm starting off here with our ground beef. I have some Angus ground beef here. This stuff is great. Went with a little bit of center cut bacon. I like the center cut, it has some great flavor, nice and thick, goes perfect on a burger. Next, we have some baby arugula. I go with arugula over regular lettuce because it has a bit more of a peppery flavor. It's great stuff. Now for one of the most important things to making a good burger, a brioche bun. This bun is nice and flavorful, thick, fluffy. I love them. Then here I have a tomato and a white onion. I love white onions for burgers, has a bit more of a powerful flavor. We're actually going to be slicing this one up and smashing it into our patty. This way, the onion can caramelize while we're cooking it. All right, let's start off with our bacon as this is going to take the longest to cook. So I'm just going to slice right into this package here. I'm just going to take 4 slices here, and I'm going to throw them on now while we get our beef ready. This way it has some time to cook. Now for our ground beef, I'm going to try to make around 4-ounce balls. So I'm going to take a little bit, going to mash it in. Don't work it too hard. You don't want to make it super tight. We're going to be smashing this down anyways. This is about the size you want your ball. Now I'm going to do 2 of these because I'm doing a double smash patty. Now I'm only cooking for myself, so I'm going to save the rest of this ground beef in the freezer. Try to make this around the same size. It's a little big. Just work it in, nice and easy, super simple, just like making a meatball. All right, we have our 2 burger balls. I'm going to go grab a separate cutting board for the onion. This way I'm not doing any kind of cross-contamination here. All right, I got my vegetable cutting board here. I'm going to work a little quick because I don't want that bacon to burn. So just slice off the end here and peel the outer layer of the onion off. Once it's all peeled off, make sure you keep a clean working space. And then we're just going to try to get as thin slices as possible. So I'm going to come in here super carefully. It's not bad. This is where a sharp knife will actually come in handy. Okay, these are pretty good here, so I'm just going to take a couple of these strings, pick out the best ones. And again, I don't waste food here. I'm going to save whatever I don't use for something else. Onions can be preserved in the freezer, believe it or not. So take a couple of these. I'm going to set the rest of my onion to the side. All right, so at this point, since we're going to cook, I'm just going to throw these ground beef balls right onto the cutting board. And I'm going to place this over on the side of my Blackstone. We're over at our Blackstone. Our bacon is cooking up nice. The tools we'll need is just a spatula, a scraper to clean off, and a good griddle press. You want a nice heavy press like this one. I got this on Amazon for a couple bucks. I'll drop the link down below. Works great, and it's nice and big. Our bacon seems to be doing good. You could flip this with a fork. I don't have one out here, so I'm just gonna flip it with my spatula. All right, now something super important when making Smashburgers is you want some nice parchment paper. I cut it into these little squares. You can even get a big pack of the squares on Amazon. And I'll show you why this is important in a second. First, we're gonna come over here, take a little bit of our bacon up. We're gonna toss a little bit down where we're gonna be smashing our patties. Spread that bacon up out. You can use oil too, but the bacon up has some great flavor. It's basically just bacon grease. Now take your smash patties, place them down. Again, we want this on medium heat. Grab a couple of onions, throw them on top. Go ahead and take your parchment paper. Again, this is why this is important. And press that down. Hold it there for a couple seconds. Press it in really good. This is what's going to get our nice sear and all of our flavor. Peel that up. Do the same to the other. Press it in real good. Okay. And then at this point is when I like to season. I'm using some Suckle Busters, SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. I told you, we're keeping it simple. We don't need any onion powder because we're getting flavor from these onions here. Okay, we'll let that crisp up for a second. And while those are crisping up, I'm gonna toast my bun. Try to find a clean spot on your grill and place it down. You can use some butter, but I'm just gonna use the bacon grease. Grease them up, and I'll toss them to a dry spot. This way they don't soak up too much of that grease. Check on our bacon here. Starting to get a little crisped up, just how I like it. Check for a crust on our burger. Could use a little bit longer. All right, I could see here, it's starting to brown around the edges. Probably has a nice crust, so we'll give this a flip. Look at that. Nice golden brown. Could have went a little bit longer on that one, but it's all right. And that right there, beautiful crust. That's what we're looking for. That's all the flavor. Check on our buns. Buns are nice and crunchy. Overdid it a little bit here, but it's all right. I like that. Toss this on our cutting board. Get that out of the way. While that's cooking up, let's take a paper towel, place it on our cutting board to soak up any extra grease from this bacon. And I'm going to take this bacon off. Move it over there. Get ready for our assembly. Let's take a peek on that bottom. It's looking real good. Pick up any loose onions and just throw them on top. Now from here, I'm going to be using American cheese here, white American. Another really great cheese with Smashburgers is actually cheddar. Cheddar has a phenomenal flavor, even some pepper jack. But you know what? Use whichever cheese you like. Place that on there. And to melt this cheese, I'm going to shut the lid for just probably about 30 seconds. Our cheese is nice and melted. We'll grab our spatula. Let's double stack this here. After this is double stacked, I'm gonna go prep my bun, get ready to throw this burger on. Use whatever toppings you like. Like I said, I'm using some arugula here. Do arugula first. And then I'll lay down 2 thinly sliced tomatoes. Okay. Now we're gonna come in with our burgers. Lay those on there. Make sure you keep this all contained. My tomato slipped a little. Put that there. Then we're just going to top this off with as much bacon as we can fit. So I love bacon. Maybe only 3 pieces will fit on here. Go ahead, I'm using some basic ketchup. No crazy burger sauce here. Layer that on there. And finish it off with your bun. Just like that, we have crafted a juicy, delicious, filling Smashburger. For such a simple recipe, this has so much flavor. You already know the rules. I got to dive into this. Get a big old bite out of this. Cheers. All right, I'm going in for a second. That's too good. Way better than Five Guys. Way better than any other restaurant. Sometimes the best burger you can make is at home. Go run to the store, grab the ingredients, fire up that Blackstone, and make this delicious burger. If you're still watching, thank you for following along. Easy recipe today. Love cooking on the Blackstone. I can't wait for spring. Spring's right around the corner. Once spring comes, I'll be pushing out some more content, more recipes. Right now it's a little bit hard with the winter. Super cold, snowy out here half the time. But for now, I'll still be posting once a week with these delicious recipes. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.